I do believe I'm streaming. I just used my keyboard shortcut for OBS to start streaming, and I saw the little light come on. So I'm going to assume it's happening here. And I'm back with you, coming up on 10 p.m. That was not my plan. As some of you who follow me know, I will be moving from the Poconos back to New York City, to Staten Island. And I'm doing apartment hunting, and it's not an easy process. So when stuff comes up related to applications and stuff, you jump on it. You gotta move, you know. There's some competition. So the best laid plans, as they say. However, this being some of the most important video series I have ever done, I am back with you. And it has also been because of several reboots. The more things change, the more they stay the same when you upgrade to a new version of Windows, especially when your old version wasn't patched up to date. It's updates after restart after restart. So I probably have had at least three, maybe four restarts through this process. And now it's telling me I'm up to date. Yay. So I can get rid of settings, except I won't get rid of settings right away. First, I'm trying to keep my chat available. So when people do hop on, you can start talking to me. Now, Arrow Snap is nice. I really, all operating systems should have implemented what Microsoft calls Arrow Snap as well as they implemented it. Did you see that? They snap into place, and then when you grab a common resize bar in the middle, it resizes both windows. Intuitive, obvious, so un-window-like. It's window panes as opposed to Windows, the old sloppy way it was done. So I'm not jumping out of settings just yet, because I do want to bring up taskbar settings, and just get a few basic usability things. I do believe, from past experience and looking at it briefly before I started streaming, I want to just go down the line here and turn these things off. Start getting rid of the distractions. This is such an uncomfortable environment for me. For the least of which is this keyboard shortcut to jump left and right. Doesn't have that screen transition. I won't stop harping on that. Now, the next thing is, see how that task icon sort of disappears when I go right? It shouldn't disappear. And that seems to be what I found here under taskbar behaviors. However, it's ghosted, as is this, all taskbars. I don't know what that's about. I don't want to auto hide the taskbar. I definitely don't want to show badges. Share any window from my taskbar? I think so. Select the far corner of the taskbar to show the desktop. I don't think so either. I wish I could get rid of these pop-up things that show over these. Well, no, that's not too bad. That lets you jump between the two different instances of something in settings. Do I have two different settings? There's that one. There's that one. They look the same to me. Let's see. We can now start getting rid of these things. Surface detach. I do not need. Oh, I hope it didn't actually start to do it. Yow, I hope that didn't start to do it. I wanted to do a right click. I'm clicking all the way to the right of these things. Can I dismiss that? All right, let's get rid of. Oh, I hope it didn't turn on OneDrive. Your OneDrive, all files are in sync. Windows, come on. If I tried to turn that off, settings, count. Yeah, you'll see that I have a Hotmail email address. I do go back quite a bit. No, do not start. basically do not start it when I sign on to Windows, okay? And then we can quit out of it. Can you quit? The stuff they try and do. Close OneDrive. Okay. This microphone thing. I don't. Apps using your mic. Okay. It's telling me apps are using my microphone. It's arguably allowable. My Wi-Fi. These can be hidden. These don't really have to. Oh, I guess you drag them. Do you drag them to hide them? Drag them to hide them? Drag them to hide them? I don't know. Is it a left click? Is it a normal click to hide these things? All right, can we get rid of that from here? Adjust date and time? Okay. All right. So we've started to get this thing usable. And, you know, just for, it's not the same right click and just delete these big tabs. The start bar looks totally different. That's so interesting. So they're giving up those postage stamp things. Uninstall. I'm not going to make you wait through these uninstalls and stuff. That's not what this video is about. Don't go through down the rabbit holes. If anyone has actually joined in, they're here to see the fateful moment of the WSL install. So I guess I did the minimal amount to make this thing usable. Okay, one view. I don't know if you're actually currently tuned in or not, but let's do this thing. All right, it doesn't matter if people are here. This has to be documented. This is the big important video. You don't need to hear me complain about how different and unusual things are in Windows 11. The muscle memoryifying. Ugh. Okay. So, you're like me. You're pissed at Windows and Microsoft and the whole proprietary software thing. You're not ready to make the jump yet over to a full-time, exclusively Linux desktop, like a Ubuntu laptop. You want to make the transition gently. And you don't care much about a Linux graphical desktop. One graphical desktop is the same as the other. So long as you're using graphical software, it might as well be Windows. Okay, it might be nice to install stuff out of the Ubuntu software repo and have it running here. But we should have that soon too, as soon as Microsoft fulfills its promise of integrated Linux graphics software on the Microsoft desktop. That's coming soon. That's another reason I want to be really cutting my teeth on Windows 11, because they say it's going to be showing up here first. And maybe since this isn't my everyday laptop, I'll go on to the developers track. That would be an interesting thing, wouldn't it? But let's do it the way most people are going to be doing it first. Okay? And that is, you're on Windows 11, you want Linux. Step 1, click the Windows logo. Step 2, type COM. The 3 letters should do it. That's the commands prompt, the old-fashioned DOS prompt. Hit enter, you got your DOS prompt. Prepare to change your world. Prepare to change your life by typing WSL space minus. My cursor, anticlimactic. Make sure you select the COM window. WSL space, okay? Minus INSTALL, okay? All right, enter. Requires elevation. The requested operation requires elevation. I thought that I should never see a poem lovely as a tree. That's poetry. The required operation requires elevation. Let's elevate. We close that. Okay, new. Step 1, hit the Windows logo. Step 2, type COM. Step 3, click Run as Administrator. Answer yes. And we do it again. Is there anyone there? I'm going to check if anyone's there. 1 view so far, 0 concurrent viewers. I don't know if you're there. Say something. If someone's tuned in, this is a big moment. I unboxed the Raspberry Pi 12 years ago. It was my first million view video. I knew the significance of it. This is right up there. WSL space minus INSTALL. All right? Anyone can do it. Nothing I did so far was hard. Enter. Installing virtual machine platform. Okay, so this is one of the things that was very difficult under Windows 10. It had you doing all these cryptic commands and stuff, and there were reboots involved. So WSL2, which is what this actually is, they don't call it WSL2 very much, as opposed to WSL1, has a very different context in which it runs under that makes it a lot more like a first-class citizen side by side with Windows. And that requires this virtual machine stuff. It's not the kind of virtual machine stuff that I hate. The requested operation is successful. Changes will not be effective until the system is rebooted. But it says WSL kernel has been installed. GUI app support, downloading GUI app support. Oh, this is interesting. Let's screen snapshot that. That sounds quite interesting. Let's do that once more. I'm just going to grab a full screen. Windows snip, full screen snip. Now, I honestly don't know if that stores it to the drive or not, so I'll click on that and I'll save it somewhere where I know it's going to really be. I'll do one of the cardinal sins of my world, saving it to the desktop. I will clean up the desktop. It's not going to be staying that way. But it's asking me for a reboot, and naturally the streaming must stop. So part 4 coming up.